Hi everyone, I'm just checking in again today, and I just thought I'd do it with the beautiful Kigali behind me. It's been a cooler day here in Kigali and we haven't left the city. We've been visiting some of the community projects again that African Enterprise supports. So the first two places we went to were early childhood centres. They have four levels of childhood centres. I'd have to get back to you about those, but the first one we visited was running basically just a room with children, I reckon there was about 40 children, maybe 50. They had both room groups together because they have exams at this point, and the children were needing to work together to make sure that they could complete their exams properly. I felt a bit sorry for the teachers because there were a few sick kids there, and it's a nightmare when you've got sick kids in a preschool. But we went through the Hungry Caterpillar with the kids, and they learnt the English words from me for the fruits in the book, and we talked about how that book could help with counting, with healthy foods and which foods aren't so healthy. And they sung me some songs, and I helped feed them, distribute the food. So that was really lovely. And then we moved on to another market preschool or early childhood centre, and that was something that had been developed by the mother or the parents of people who work in the markets, and they couldn't have their children with them, and it's not good to leave younger kids home with the older siblings, because then the older siblings miss out on school as well. So this is supported by, I think it's supported by the government. So the government supports them a little. The parents contribute a little for so that the children can have food. And it had been supported by USAID. This is a recurring theme that's happening while I'm here. They now no longer support it, and now African Enterprise is not able to support them as much as they used to either, because of the withdrawal of funds. So they did share some of the needs at the preschool. Some of the needs was to try and get some money to give the children fruit, because at the moment they're only getting vegetables. And they were hoping for some new mattresses for the children to sleep on at rest time. This was not a half day care childhood centre. This was a full day care childhood centre, and that's the first one I've seen like that so far. So I was really impressed with that centre actually. It was run by some very organised women, and they had, a whole, sorry, I'm losing my words because I'm tired. They had like the daily routine put out as a big schedule on the wall, and then they had the weekly food schedule as well. So they were talking me through what the children are able to have, and it was a lot more than what they've been having at the other early childhood centres, I think because they're asking parents to contribute. So they have fish, rice, vegetables, they also have their porridge, and so it was significantly more than the other kids. The kids there were great as well. So they sung me some songs, and I heard some, in the baby's room I heard some music being played to the beat of a drum, which was quite fun. And then in the final room, I was teaching the children head, shoulders, knees and toes, and we kind of turned that into a game of trying to speed up as fast as we could. So that was great. Then they showed me around the kitchen, and they showed me around the sleeping room, and just talked about how the whole thing had been established and what the needs are now, which again, it's just this withdrawal of funds, and it's so because of that, the parents now have to pay more to bridge the gap, and it's just this ripple effect of the taking away those US funds has just had this ripple effect in the whole community. So the businesses, and then the families, and then it just keeps going. So it's been quite impactful. But yeah, that both centres were very grateful for the support of AE, and and the women there are doing really great work. So it was fantastic, and the manager of those projects, we spent time with him today as well, and he was very, very helpful with all my questions. So then we went back to AEE for lunch, which was great. So I had a bit of a chat with some of the staff there, and we're just kind of just talking about, differences of culture between Australia and here. I met I met one of the pastors there who they've dubbed the bishop, because apparently he just looks after all the other pastors, and he was lovely to talk to. And I was saying, going out into some of the poorer communities, it makes me realise how much we take the things we have for granted. And he was saying that he went to Belgium and gave a sermon there, and he had someone come and say exactly the same thing. So we had a bit of a chat about that, and then I think my favourite part of the day, although the kids were great, I love the kids, but we went to another women's project. I'm telling you, these women are doing the most amazing things, and AE is just working so well with them. These particular projects have just grabbed me. They're just amazing. So again, they've brought the women in, they've shared the gospel, they've trained them to start a business, and these women, I'm telling you, they are creative. So what they've done is, and I have to say it was probably, it was within the little houses there, and it did seem like they had been living rough for a while. So the business, I think, is really helping them. They said, the children's health has improved. They now have community. They support each other financially for social events and not just loaning out for business. It was the same sort of, savings program. These women, they won an award. They won an award nationally for, I think it was a women-run business award event. They had 30,000 entrants. These women won it. And I said, you have to advertise that. So their amazing business idea was they knew that at the airport they were taking cell phones out of the sort of travel bags, and they were discarding them. They were just throwing them away. So because single-use plastics have been banned now here, they purchased the unused bags from the mobile phones. So we're talking like big sacks, and they cut them up and re-sew them into shopping bags so that people can do their shopping. I'm like, that is so creative. I'm like, how did you even know the bags were there? So they saw them because they live near the airport, and they also know people who work there. So between all of those contacts, they were able to negotiate this deal. And I just thought it was fantastic. And they were showing us how they sewed them together, and were talking about how much profit they were making. I'm like, this is genius. I said, it's so ethical to do this. Like, you're reducing waste, and that is such a big thing at the moment. We need to recycle, reuse, try and lessen our impact on the planet. And they're doing well, and have dreams to start selling things globally, and buy a truck so that they can get to the markets more easily where they're selling now. And I just hope they do so well, because they were so inventive. Like, it was really, really great. Not all of those women were married, so the burden of raising their children and sending them to school and getting them medical attention falls to them. I don't really know their background. I didn't ask. I thought that was not really my business, but it would be, it's hard. It's hard parenting, but parenting alone, and parenting alone without access to a job, that is tough. And so I just thought they were, so brilliant. But they were just really grateful to AE, and they were saying, without AE and without, they've all become Christians now. They said without their faith, they would be more ready to go to other ways, non-Christian ways of trying to make money. And you can read into that what you will. I didn't ask, but now they want to make an honest living, and their faith is a big part of that. So it was just lovely, and they were just so lovely. And yeah, I wish them the best. So yeah, another day of just being amazed with how much this company is doing for the people there and helping them to help themselves. You know, it is just so empowering for them, because they're the ones coming up with the ideas, and they're the ones who are starting these businesses, and they're being mentored and they're being supported, but it's them. And that just gives, it's, you know, it is empowering. It is empowering. So yeah, another wonderful day. Tomorrow I'm off to the Centre for Champions. It'll be really interesting to see how that's going, and back out to the east, and I'm looking forward to that because I really liked my time there earlier this week. But for now, I'm going to put my feet up and have a bit of a rest and read a book. So that's all from me.